Hey Sagittarius, this is wishkotheferret. Welcome to the Ferret Den. We're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and today we're going to do a weekly reading for March 13th to the 19th. So for the week of March 13th to the 19th. And yes, I was about to say, anything else we have to say before we get into the reading? Yes, I have a Patreon that is launching, Amanda Speak. It's launching late March, early April. So working on it now, but if you want to stay up to date with that, and if you like my stuff and you think I'm cool, go ahead and like and subscribe. That way you don't miss any updates and you don't miss any more readings. So that being said, Sagittarius, drop into your heart space. If you're sun, moon, or rising, this message could be for you. But the only way to know is to drop into your heart space and let the energies around you spiritually, emotionally, and physically settle. Let those energies settle within you as well. Call in your spirit team, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones, whoever you work with. And follow me through prayer while I shuffle. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for shrouding me with the protection of light. Thank you for helping ground us during this reading. Thank you for protecting us and shielding our energies. Thank you for helping me not take on the energy of Sagittarius, but to help me channel directly, clearly, and in a way that they can understand. Thank you, Spirit Team and Angel Guides, for also helping facilitate this connection, help me discern which messages are for Sagittarius and which ones are just floating out into the ether. Thank you for connecting us with the highest love, source, and light, for the highest good, for the highest outcome, and for the highest life of those watching. And with that being said, let's get into it. This card. Offer with gratitude and grace. Offer with grace. There's offering something with grace here. Boom. Okay, cool. You need to make a decision about something, is the immediate words that come to mind. I feel like, so as I was shuffling, maybe I'll include clips of me shuffling before, because I did not realize I was recording the pre-shuffled oracle cards. But I was hearing some kind of snips and clips from Spirit that the wind is passing, or the wind is on its way to being passing, or you can take solace in the wind. So if you're just coming out of a tough time, then, and if you're noticing that the energy is easing up for you, then that's like confirmation that the wind has passed for you. If not, and if you're still in the thick of it, then the wind can help ground you. So being outside on a cool, breezy day, that energy, I feel like, can revitalize you at this time. If not, that's okay. You can just, like I say, if it doesn't resonate, you crumple it in a ball, toss it out the window, watch it roll down the porch steps, and keep it moving. But for your Astro Dice, we have the South Node, Aries, and the 4th house. And I feel like this is a relationship that you're dealing with for some of you. Somebody in the home, somebody in the family that you're dealing with. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It could be a platonic connection. It could be a familial connection. But we have a soulmate card here. So this is the 2 of Cups. And in the current energies, we also have the Queen of Cups and we have the 2 of Swords. This is a decision to be made. This is choosing to mother yourself over anybody else, first of all. First and foremost, this is choosing to mother yourself over anyone else. You have a lot of resources available and you're trying to discern how to use them and what your options are and what to do about it. The 2 of Cups, it feels like there's an issue with somebody, or it feels like there's a decision to be made with somebody here. Like with the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Swords, especially when it's cloaked around the Queen of Pentacles, tells me that safety and security, of some kind of security and stability, is a concern, and you have to choose. It's almost like you have a choice whether you can put the sword between that relationship or in between that connection almost, And there's a safety and security that comes with this relationship or connection or whatever. This could be, if this isn't related to you in terms of like, if it's not resonating in terms of like somebody else, the Two of Cups is also a reflection of the self and what's working for us in our comfort in our homes. Like the Two of Cups feels like to me dealing with both sides of ourselves, the lighter aspects and the shadow aspects. And there's something here about being comfortable, either being comfortable or stable. It could be actually it's indicating being a little too comfortable with either the self or with another soulmate connection. I feel like for a lot of you there is a soulmate connection involved though. And it's almost like being in a comfortable state with this person, but needing to make a choice because something is rising up through your intuition that is bugging you. It's uncomfortable, it's annoying, you don't like it, and you know that there's a decision that has to be made, but there's a reason that this energy is coming up and you don't like the fact that this energy is coming up. Because you have South Node here, it makes me feel like, so I'm hearing that it's trickling in for you. Like this doubt or this fear or this whatever is trickling in. So it's coming, for a lot of you, it's coming in at a really slow rate. It's not something that was like, boom, you got to do something now. It's not like your intuition came in with like a freaking, like a wrecking ball and was like, okay, time to wake up. I feel like this is something that trickled in, little things that you've noticed, maybe red flags that you've missed, little tiny things that have kind of seeped into your energy that are like, this is unsettling, but you know what? It's a very tiny little trickle. I'm going to ignore it. Eventually that drop turns into a puddle. That puddle's turning into a swamp. I was about to say lake and Spirit said, nope, swamp. So it's gross, it's yucky, and we don't like walking through swamps. I would rather go over a lake than a swamp. So there you go. There you have it. It's just becoming, it's not preventable, Spirit said. It wasn't preventable, and it's not something that can be avoided at this point. So a choice needs to be made. A decision needs to be made about it. Okay. With the South Node, with this thing that's coming up again and again, it's almost like with the occurrence of this, like it's becoming stronger and stronger. South Node does indicate some kind of cycle that goes on and repeats, a pattern that repeats again and again that we're kind of stuck in or that we can't get out of, or that we perceive that we can't get out of. And it seems like this is something that has been reappearing again and again. It's just growing into more of a problem. Aries is here. It's the energy of passion. It's the energy of wanting a new beginning. It is the energy of lighting a flame. And it doesn't, maybe it's like relighting a flame with another person. This isn't saying leave. I'm not saying like leave. If you're like in a relationship or you're like living with someone, don't be like, wishkotheferret on YouTube told me, like, no, don't make that kind of decision based on somebody that you watch online. But if your intuition is calling you to separate from someone or, maybe rekindling something with someone, Aries energy is good for either or. It's good for starting something new and starting a new path, starting a new adventure, but it's also good for renewing passion that you've already had in something, but it's like that fresh new passion. It's like young love, child love. It's like, oh no. Spirit just gave me a symbol that means something personal to me, and all of a sudden, boom, I feel like, okay, this does not relate to all of you, but I'm going to tell you that for some of you Sagittarius are in a relationship and you know that person is not the one. You know that person, oh, that feels too harsh to say. I don't want to say it like that, but I just did. It feels like it's so comfortable and there's no real reason why you would want to end this relationship or why you would want to bring up certain concerns. But something's just not cutting it for you, and you've been ignoring it for a long time. And now that you're kind of being faced with it, it's literally just like a sore that keeps growing and growing and getting worse until it has the right treatment, and you know what that treatment is. You just need to enact that decision. Anyway, I'm sorry. Some of you needed to be told that directly, only if it resonates with you. Again, I'm feeling a lot of fear striking your hearts right now. Like some of you have like a lot of fear. You really just need to quiet. Just quiet the heart, quiet the mind, and understand that Spirit is holding you and helping you through this. I don't think that the adventure with this person needs to end, per se. But just know, whichever consequence you accept, or whichever outcome I shouldn't say consequence. I mean, every action has a consequence, and not all consequences are good or bad or whatever. But What I mean is, whatever result, whatever outcome you have, I mean, relationships are never ending. They're always changing. And, I mean, what will happen is how it will happen. And it's going to happen how it's meant to. And you need to make the right moves that call to your soul. So I want to remind you that you have the power in your own hands. I'm not going to tell you how to act. But the energy that I feel here, that's just an example of what I was bringing forward. It sounded a little straight to the point, but that was just an example of what some of you might be feeling. So I don't want you to panic and freak out and say, I have to go end things like right now, or get afraid and say, well, I don't want to, because you might not be in a space where you're ready to do that. But this week is an opportunity to explore that option, or something that's been weighing on your mind a little bit. This is Spirit kind of addressing that worry or concern or that issue that's been rotating in your mind. Some challenges here. And I'm sorry, because the Astro Dice, I don't know if I don't remember if I told you, but because it's in the 4th house, your home and your family, like whoever's in your present home. So again, which is why I feel like it could be another relationship, a person that you're living with. It could be yourself. Either or, whatever the case may be, something is happening right now in this energy with this connection or with yourself that you're just not liking, and something needs to change, but you're feeling too secure in it to want to move on, or you're feeling too secure to make actual changes for it. So some challenges that we have here, we have the 6 of Swords and we have the King of Wands, and I feel like taking action confidently is your issue here. I wouldn't say it's like an issue. I think you're learning to embrace these energies, but when it's in a challenging position like this, it's having trouble moving out of the rough waters, and I really feel like you're kind of like, you're in this canoe. I'm seeing this 6 of Swords. I'm sorry, did I say 6 of Wands? I meant 6 of Swords. I really don't know. But the 6 of Swords really feels like you are in rough waters, but you're kind of rowing in circles, and you're rowing around a whirlpool that's trying to suck you in. And you're trying to figure out how to get away, even though you have like a very clear, calming path out. It's not going to be easy, but I mean, you obviously can't go into the whirlpool when you know it, because then you'll drown. Then you're not on top of the water anymore, which presents a problem. But you have to move away from it somehow. But it's almost like maybe you have some type of treasure that you lost to the whirlpool that you're trying to find, and that's what calls you to want to stay, because maybe the waters will calm and you'll get it back. But, it's not going to stop. This is like a never-ending whirlpool. And there's a hope that it'll stop, but I guess the reality is that it won't. Now, you can make this option. There's no good or bad option here. You can decide whatever it is that you want. Because maybe the whirlpool will calm, but that's an energy that you're going to have to step into and, fully accept and deal with. Okay? And the King of Wands just tells me that making your decision confidently is going to be hard for you. So it feels like you don't really have a lot of confidence in what you're trying to do, or what you're stepping into, which is what's causing this feeling of stagnation, or this energy of stagnation. So those are the challenges right now. And what's going to make your life easier, or the way forward for you, is just decide. You have the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is saying just make a decision. It doesn't have to be the right one. It doesn't have to be, there is no right or wrong here. It doesn't have to make you feel good. It's not going to 100% make you feel good no matter what you do. And that's just because you have things to settle in. Oftentimes when we make a decision, we have decisions that feel right in our intuition, but emotionally make us feel very sad. And sometimes we have decisions that we make that emotionally make us feel good, but at the same time, it is against our gut. But then we can kind of push that off to the side and keep living our lives until intuition lights up and points us towards somewhere else. And honestly, that's just the ebb and flow of things. I like living in my heart space, and I like following my intuition, but that's not the easiest thing to do in the world. And sometimes we have obligations and other things that take up our time, and we can't always follow our intuition for every single little thing. It is what it is in that sense. We're human, and we are bound sometimes by, I'm a freedom-loving spirit. I'm a Sagittarius sun, so I hate when I'm told that I'm limited, and I hate being told no. So when I'm told that I'm restricted in life, I get annoyed, and I'm like, no, I want freedom. So I understand if some of y'all are up in arms right now when I say that, but I mean, it's kind of true. I mean, like, we are technically limitless in spirit, but when you have like kids or pets or something, for example, like, or you have to go to a job to earn an income, like you have to earn an income, there's no escaping that. I guess you don't have to, but you have to put in the work to make yourself sustainable so that you don't need an income. Like, I mean, you got to eat to live, basically, you know what I mean? And you don't have to make money to do that, but I mean, like, you know, there are some things, like, we have limits in our body, you know, and we have needs that we need to meet. So that being said, intuition, like, it's not wrong to not follow your intuition, and I want you to know that that's okay. There's this whole thing in the spirit community where it's like, oh, follow your intuition, always follow your intuition, it will always be right. And honestly, there is no right and wrong in the world, and I know that might make you feel very lost and very confused. It always feels good when you make the right decision and you can do what's right for you. And it's always possible. Keep in mind that it's always possible, but you are never wrong if you choose not to follow your intuition. You're never wrong. It might feel wrong, but you're never wrong, and Spirit's never judging you for it. Just throwing that out there in case anyone's carrying any, like, heavy-heartedness in that respect. What's going to make your life easier and the way forward not only is making a choice with the Four of Cups, because we're kind of, you know, again, stuck in the stagnation, waiting to choose. We have the Five of Cups and the Queen of Wands here. So it's literally just accepting the disappointment for what it is and then striding forward confidently with what you own and what you have. I don't know why what you own is specifically coming up to me, but with what you own, striding forward with what you own, taking what you own and, like, go in your own way, accepting the disappointment for what it is, and moving on. And it's interesting because you have the King of Wands in your challenge, but you have the Queen of Wands in your, like, what's going to make your life easier. And I really can't help but feel like some of you are dealing with a masculine figure that you're struggling with figuring out whether you want to leave or not. And it's not, again, it doesn't mean that it has to be like a man. It could be a man, but it does feel like two opposing energies of, like, stepping away from somebody or stepping away from like a yang side of yourself, for example, and embracing more of a yin part of yourself. That just feels like what it is. Or like stepping away from like your partner and then coming back to yourself, because the King and the Queen of Wands are counterparts. So that's just the thought. That's just, you know, something that might resonate. But it does feel like with that connection, it does feel like that's somewhat the case for some of you. But I mean, like, you got it in the bag. So I'm going to get to your oracle cards here. You have call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So if you have support, if you got girlfriends, hit them up. You got boyfriends, hit them up. You got family or friends to lean on in this time of need. Definitely do that. Get their opinions, let them weigh in, let them console you, let them make you feel better. And also acknowledge that this person, this Two of Cups, this soulmate or whatever, it could be in your family too, like I said. It could be the decision to just pack up and leave this energy completely, or just like having to deal with this energy that is so close to your friends and family or so close to your home space. It's just with soulmate, and I'm getting like twos everywhere. I mean, again, Two of Cups, Two of Swords. I mean, you're getting the soul family, which has two dolphins and two women just like holding hands. And I really do feel like these are just close connections that you're dealing with. It's just kind of affirms that they're close connections that you're dealing with. And I just, like, you never walk this planet alone. So even if you feel like you have nobody in the physical realm to help you, still spiritually, you have soul family on the other side as well. I feel like this soulmate, again, does feel like part of your soul family. Maybe not one that makes you feel very good, but they might be like on the other side, very closely connected to you and helping you learn lessons now. But this is calling on support. Call on your support system is what this card is guiding you to do. And for the Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. You're stronger. You are more strong than you are consciously aware. You are more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. You have everything that is necessary to take this on. So doubting it in any way, shape, or form is only going to hinder you. So really try to build up that confidence. Really try to build up that self-esteem, because you are worthy of abundance. And I don't know, I just feel like something like this is written. I feel like something like this is written, and it's not like I keep like, the way that my eyes are wandering, I keep wandering to this yang energy, or this energy that you're leaving. It doesn't have to be a yang energy, but this masculine type of energy, or this energy in general that you're trying to fight to leave, feels dominating and controlling. They don't have to present themselves as dominating and controlling, but because of how intently you're focusing on that energy, then it appears to be so. That is how overpowering it feels. So taking your attention away from that and focusing on the light that you bring to the world and focusing on your own wisdom is going to help cultivating that awareness and focusing on your own light is going to help pull your attention away from the other party so that you can make a well-informed decision, and you'll understand after the fact. I'm hearing something about realizing after the fact, or after you make your decision, something will be abundantly clear. Let's see what else you got, because you got 4 more oracle cards left. We have the Thinker. The Thinker. We have exchanging gifts. And we have time for a nap. So with Thinker, we're engaging in a practice of control. We are engaging in a practice of analytical thinking. And this does indicate analysis paralysis, which does echo the Two of Swords that you have here already. So I definitely feel like for some of you, this is just further Spirit just further exclaiming that, hey, you're thinking too much, or like sometimes it is good to weigh and assess your options. Sometimes they feel it's necessary. I feel like for the Thinker, Spirit wants to join you in your contemplation, is what they said. Exactly what they said. We want to join you in your contemplation. So again, if you got to write it out, the divine channels their healing and their advice and guidance through you that way. If you dream, they help you work on it, and they send you messages through your dreams. If you are highly sensitive and you sense Spirit, they will be speaking words and phrases to you. Maybe you'll feel phrases come to you throughout the day, or maybe you'll hear certain songs on the radio. Those are messages from the divine. That's something that they're channeling straight to you so that you can help work with this energy a little bit better and figure out where you stand on it. So they want to contemplate this with you. Exchanging gifts. This is in terms of your placement where, okay, so that's so interesting because like you have a lot to give to the world, and what the angels are saying right now is that your placement in your life is important. Like your energy that you give, you need to be put in a space where you can give yourself, I'm not saying to the max, but you like to reach your maximum potential, you need to be giving from a heart space that is clean and pure and unbothered by unnecessary baggage, is what Spirit said. I feel like I just got like a little bit of the chills were trying to come, and I was trying to fight them down like, no, I'm busy. And now I just, because I brought attention to it, now I'm like, wow, okay, let me get back into it. So I really feel like for a lot of you, channeling these gifts, it's going to require extra attention to make sure that you make the decision that you want to make. Again, this is like a highly intuitive experience, and your response has to be from you. You have to make that choice. Not to put on the pressure, not to lay on the pressure, but Spirit wants you to shine bright. And they're saying that whatever choice you make, they're sure you're going to make the right one that helps your soul shine bright. Just keep in mind that you need to be, no, are they telling me to be, okay, I'm sorry. I think they're telling me to be understanding. But no, they just did a wave. I'm sorry. They did like a waving through me. You need to be, sorry, this is for you then, not for me. Sorry. This is why I told you, like right at the beginning, I was like, please allow me the discernment to make sure that I'm communicating these messages clearly. If I'm not, they correct me. You need to be understanding that the gifts that the other party is giving and the gifts that you give just aren't on the same vibration. It doesn't mean someone's better. It doesn't mean someone's worse. It just means that it's not a match. and that you need to go find somebody else, or you need to go off on your own so that you can shine bright. There's somewhere you have to be, not in a particular place, but you need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right energies required in order for you to shine your gifts in the brightest of ways so that spirit can give back to you in an equally bright way. That's how the law of attraction works. That's how manifestation works. Like, being in that space of high vibration and feeling, I don't want to say clean, pure, and because I don't think like we're ever like fully, oh, that's not what I mean. I don't really like the word pure. But because I mean, we're human, we're going to go through the muck, and that's okay. But I really do feel like this exchange is, they want to make sure that you're going to be living your best life. So this is why they're bringing this to your attention. Sorry, I'm moving the camera a little bit. And time for a nap just means that some of you might actually channel like guidance from your guides, from your angels through your sleep. Time for a nap means that I've thought about something for way too long. I'm too exhausted. I'm too burnt out. And they literally tell me, take a fucking nap, bitch. Don't sit on this any longer. Sorry for my language. It's just going to come out. Like, take a nap. Just do it. Like, and usually the answers come to me that way. Or I wake up feeling well rested, so then I have a clear mind to be able to be like, why was I even thinking about that? Why did I think for so long? I'm like, it's like I didn't remember any of my dreams. I didn't remember any of my spirit communications, but it's almost like sometimes when we sleep, we have downloads channeled directly to us. It doesn't have to like be in our sensory or conscious experience in order to have those downloads. I know there are some days I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. Something I've been contemplating for a while, and all of a sudden, like, I wake up one day with a whole different energy, and I swear, I know spirit did something to me in my sleep, because I wake up like, boom, let's do this. We're done. We're not waiting anymore. Or like, boom, I can't believe, like, I was on this path, but you know what? I know this is not the right thing for me. I mean, I don't know. It's not really acting on a whim. It's literally just like your intuition like is trying to gnaw at you and tell you something, and all of a sudden it just hits strong like a freight train. It's like, boom, I'm here and I'm ready to shine, and this is how I'm gonna shine. That's basically, I don't know, I just mimicked like my soul coming forward, and that's not how my soul shows up to me all like but anyway, if you're not looking at your screen right now, I'm doing weird motions with my body. Anyway, last card you have is Twilight. Surrender to the last hour when the light barely touches the flowers. So this card comes up when it's necessary that you hold out a little bit longer. This card always comes out when I feel stressed, where I really feel like I've done the most and then some. When I'm completely and totally stressed, especially with Twilight, you are nearing the end of like your energy stream, your last bit, you're nearing towards the end of that. And for some of you, this might not be the case, because as I was working with the cards and as I was shuffling them, something came out, like Spirit told me after all of those Oracle cards just now and right before this one that was enough. And then I was like, I already had this deck in my hand, and I was like, but I want to pull one. And it felt weird for me not to pull one, because I was pulling one for all of the other signs, but they were like, but you don't have to. And so I feel like this is information that a lot of you know already, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. I mean, like, we can always use more cards from Spirit. Why not, right? But I feel like for a lot of you, like, you already know this and you're already struggling with like a last breath. And you really just need to keep going and to reach a state where you're not going to be comfortable making this decision. But I feel like this is talking about your energy reserves. Like, this is where you're at with your energy. Not keep struggling in this until you feel like you can't anymore. But this is like your present energy right now. Because I don't think Spirit wants you to stay stuck in this any longer. And I don't think that's what Twilight's trying to say. I really do feel like this is your current energy right now, and that you are... They're saying embrace the light. So when the sun's coming up, really embrace that, because like I don't think that your dark night, like there's like the twilight is in my mind. There's twilight in the morning or at night. I don't know where twilight. Okay, this is like really dumb of me to like question, because once upon a time I probably knew the answer, but for some reason, especially with the the words on this card, I'm thinking that twilight is like at the end of the night as the sun's going down. But for some reason, it's almost like Spirit has it reversed. Because like twilight feels like the end of the day to me, which I'm pretty sure it is, but it really feels like the information that Spirit is coming through with, even though it says twilight, is like the sun rising. So they're saying like, okay, well, you feel like the sun is setting, but what it's actually doing is it's rising. And then you will, like, which is why they're saying, let the light in, embrace the light, because it's coming to you. That's kind of the imagery that's coming to me. So you think the sun is setting, but it's actually rising for you. You just can't see it yet, but you'll recognize that in hindsight after you make your decision. So, any lasting messages that we have for Sagittarius before we send them on their way? 84. The angels of forgiveness are drawing close to help you release past situations and embrace the lessons within them. Oh, I'm going to say that one more time. The angels of forgiveness are drawing close to help you release past situations and embrace the lessons within them. And with that, Sagittarius, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I wish you nothing but the best week.